Well, hello. I'm currently in the Lake District. I'm on the banks of Coniston Water. What I'm going to do, I'm about to set my Eurohike Air 400 up, and as promised in my last video, which was a brief introduction to the tent and, you know, basically my first impressions of it, I'm going to do a full pitch and a detailed review. So let's crack on. So here's the kit I'm going to review. Obviously in the middle there's the Eurohike Air 400. To the right, that is the tent footprint, and to the left over here is a Eurohike carpet, which I'll explain more about later because it's not the universal version and it's not the version for this tent. Right, the first thing you'll notice is that the tent comes in a very large, robust bag. I've had it out once and obviously packed it away, and there's absolutely ample room for the tent and a few other bits. It weighs in at 14.7 kilograms, so it's slightly on the heavy side. But yeah, I'm very, very impressed. I've left the pump out. The pump comes in the middle, packed with the tent, and obviously the pegs are in the bag, etc. Right, so I'll get it out of the bag and we'll get on with the pitch. Well, that's the footprint laid out. It comes with 4 pegs to secure it at the end. It's not windy today, but I would advise, obviously, if it's windy, as you're putting it out, you start to peg it straight away at each corner. So obviously it can't take off like a sail into the wind. Right. Let's get these in. Pull it nice and tight. Hello. Bit of hard ground. That's better. As I said, I did pitch this about 3 weeks ago in East Sussex, near where I live, and even taking my time and putting the footprint down, which obviously prolongs the pitching time. It took around about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's for taking some photographs as well. So you know, it's quite simple for one to do. Okay, that's it pegged out on all 6 points. So it pulled nice and taut. So now it's time to get the tent and roll it out. Well, that's the tent stretched out. So now what I'm going to do, even though it's not windy, it's good practice to pin down all 4 corners, and obviously you can start inflating. Pegs, and on I go. As you can see, I'm inflating via my 12-volt pump, being a bit lazy because I've got a bit of a lower back problem. I'm inflating to 4.5 psi. You can inflate from anywhere from 4 to 7, but it's actually quite humid and hot here, so if I put 4.5 in, obviously the heat will increase the air pressure, so I will keep an eye on it. If it gets extremely hot, I may drop a bit out. No harm in giving it a little hand. So as you can see, I'm inflating the middle first, then I'm going to inflate the rear and then the front, and then I'll start adjusting it to get it in a straight line. The good thing about the footprint is that it sort of aids you in getting a straight line. Obviously it serves loads of purposes. One, it keeps the ground sheet of the tent clean, so you can pack that away without any mess. 2, obviously it protects it in the way that it's a double layer, so if there's any stones underneath, hopefully it won't rip the tent floor. And yeah, so I would advise getting one. I know it takes a little bit longer to put up, but you know, it's well worth it in the end. I just moved away from the tent so you can hear me. I'm inflating the back beam now. I have to go and give it a hand up in a minute, and then I'll actually show you the valve and the fitting that goes into the high pressure valve. Right, at this point I'll show you one of the valves before I inflate. There's a cap that just pushes in and twists to lock, twist back, pull out. The valve inside, when you deflate, it's pushed in. It's a spring-loaded valve. You push it in and that allows the air out so that it's still in that position. To actually inflate, you have to push in and it pops out. So now it's ready to reflate. Now it's in its non-return mode. The pump, even though this is my electric pump, this is the same fitting as you get on the high pressure pump that comes with it, and it's basically a bayonet fitting. It just pushes in and twists to the right, and that's it, locked in, and then you pump away. Right, that's all the chambers inflated. You'll probably notice that the footprint is exposed at the front, so now I'll be going around straightening it all up and then pegging all the corners and all around the tent down before I get the guys up. The good thing about this stage is if it rains, you're more or less got the tent covered, so you can start to relax a little bit. Right, I better get on because the wind's picking up. Well, that's it all pegged out. As good as I'm going to do it now, I'll cinch it up and trim it up a bit once I've got the guy lines out. So now to do the guy lines, and that'll be the outside done. Okay, there's the tent pitched with the front door shut, and I will correct what I said in my last video. The front door does have grommets in the bottom, so you can actually, if you buy a separate set of king poles, you can bring the front door up as a porch. So that's the door closed and the fly net closed, and at the moment I've got the side door open to obviously air the tent out. That's a rough pitch. I'm going to go over it a bit in a minute. I just want to crack on with this video. Well, there's a first look at the tent with the main door up, and it's got a mosquito screen, so that's taken up as well. So I'll take you inside. Here we are inside the tent now, and as you can see, it has a double bedroom. It has got a divider. I'll show you the divider. It's actually on the floor at the moment, and there's the divider screen, but obviously I'm here on my own, so I won't be putting that up. You have two side pockets, one there and one this side, so it's quite a roomy bedroom. As I said, I'll leave the divider down. The door, when unzipped, packs away in a little side pocket neatly. I'm leaving that door open at the moment, and the other one, as you can see, I've unzipped the top to show you the fly mesh. You've got a load of pockets running all the way down the outside for storage, and you have a electrical hookup entry point at low level, because this is a sewn in ground sheet bathtub, so you need that. I'm going over some of the stuff I did in the first video, but I'm trying to make this more in depth. You have two windows at the front, and as you can see there, the privacy screen I've removed and taken it half down and toggled it up. If I go over to the other one, you can see that's fully open, rolled up and attached with toggles. You have a light point at the roof space, and you have one at the back of the inner tent, the bedroom tent. So it's quite a nice space. I mean, I'm using it on my own, but as you probably, if you've seen the last video, you'll know that my son and my grandson stayed in it, and it was torrential rain for 3 days, and we basically were all in here most of the day, and it was enough room for three for sure. Four would be very cozy. You have two vents, one either side above the windows, which you actually just, they're already up, but you've got a little Velcro patch that you can take down, flatten the window down, and you just take it up. It's very difficult to do with one hand. And attached for ventilation. If I take you round, all the way round the tent to the back, you have a large vent on the back, which is held out by the guy lines. So all in all, a very nice tent. Right, I'll go over the dimensions again if you haven't seen the last video. The length of the tent is 465 centimetres, which is 15 foot 3 inches. It is 195 centimetres tall, which is 6 foot 5 inches. And it is 265 millimetres wide, which is 8 foot 8 inches. It weighs 14.7 kilograms. And it has a hydrostatic head of 4,000 HH, and the ground sheet is 3,000. But as you are no doubt aware from earlier in the video, I've now fitted a waterproof footprint underneath it as well. So we've got plenty of protection there. Right, at the front of the tent there, you can see there's quite a large lip. That does not fold down. Obviously the door, when it comes down and zips up, it covers over that. One of the issues with this tent is if it rains, you cannot leave either the side or the front door open. The rain does enter the tent. So I got around that on my last trip by fitting a tarp over the entrance and extending it out, so at least we could have the front door open to get some air in. If you look at the side door, there's an absolutely massive or tall sleeve there, or extension to the bathtub. That unattaches and it folds down to the floor, so you could get wheelchair, pushchair access. So I think that's a great little tip, or great little addition to the tent. Right, here's my top tip. I searched high and low for a carpet for this tent, for the actual Eurohike Air 400, and it didn't exist. It kept taking me to the universal versions, which the small was too small. The medium would have gone right underneath the bedroom compartment and folded up and lipped up at the front, which I didn't want. So what I did, I looked at the Air Genesis 400 tent, which is just slightly smaller, and I ordered the carpet for that. So this is a Air Genesis 400 tent carpet. But you can see it's not a bad fit. It doesn't go edge to edge, but it's the shape of the front where it tapers in. So I was quite pleased with that. Right, well that concludes my review for the moment. I hope you found this video informative, and if you have, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Obviously, if you have any queries or questions you want answered, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to actually answer them. Okay, right, so I'm going to get on with putting all the luxuries inside, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.